Yo, 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 okay, there we go. Mic is working. Mic is working. I think we're live. It's been a minute, huh? It's been a little while. I apologize for that. That's all on me, of course. Arcade in the house. Am I dreaming? I said I can listen, but really got to get this work done. Hey, yo, you, look, man. I'm going live like 15 minutes earlier than I intended to. Okay, maybe 10 minutes earlier than I intended to, due to the fact that I got work to take care of. Work that I'm glad I checked everything, because there was a meeting that for a Teams call that I'm going to have at noon that I confirmed last week, and I completely forgot about it. So I had to double check that real quick. Glad I did so, because it would have been pretty awkward, especially considering I think there are a few a few co-workers that know I do this, and they've been like, oh, so instead of the meeting, you were out here podcasting, you lazy, so look, you know what it is. Shout out to you guys in the chat. What's up? That guy Smitty, what's going on, man? Are you on Eastern time? Otherwise, this is breakfast. I am definitely on Eastern time. So yeah, I get that. If you whatever if you getting a bagel right now, you can call it breakfast time with SloMo. It's fine with me. You eat your bagel, a couple donuts. I'm still actually nursing this coffee right now, because brother, as you get older in your years, and I'm not saying I'm ancient, I'm just saying I'm older, okay? I will concede that I'm older, right? You need coffee to function. Like if I could safely do a coffee IV drip into my veins, I would do it, absolutely. But I don't have a ton of time. I don't know if I even get a chance to play Assassin's Creed with this, which is something that I normally do. For those who are kind of unfamiliar with Lunchtime with SloMo, I talk some topics, I ramble a whole lot, and then I go play a game, because we play games out here. I don't know about these other frauds that you guys know, but we play games over here, and I typically like to do that, and then I come back for the first time doing Lunchtime with SloMo, and God knows how long, and I'm like, I'm not gonna play a game. So I would hate to do that, but I got like a hard stop at like 11:50, so I could at least do some prep for this meeting, at least pretend like I know what I'm talking about during this meeting. So let's try to get through them, and then we'll get into some gaming. He says, as long as we don't call it eating SloMo for whoa, Mario, what are we doing here? I do believe I may be positively delicious, but I don't know about that one, man. I don't know if we need I don't know if that kind of show. I know, this is still supposed to be family friendly content here, suitable for not all, most audiences. I don't want you two to be like, hey, you said no for that, and I'm like, whoopsie, yeah, it's not suitable for all audiences. It's suitable enough, for my delicate sensibilities. How about that? Let's do this. Okay, so topics, right? I had some topics. I don't even remember what they are. I literally just came up with them out of the blue. Okay, people who buy products just to complain about them. I got some thoughts for y'all. Nintendo Switch 2. I should have said Switch 2. And I said just Switch, like this is 2017. My bad. Okay, I was typing fast. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-show thoughts, and then AMD's golden opportunity. So let's get into that first topic, because I really want to talk about that. So people who buy products just to complain about them. Now, sure, like that may sound dumb on the surface. Actually, it's just dumb, period. But on the surface, you would think, ain't nobody doing that. Like, nobody buys soap they think stinks and buy it and be like, I can't believe how badly this soap stinks. I can't believe people would wear this. Like, people don't buy a car and say, this is a trash car. It's fuel, you know, conserving functions are awful. The car has an awful smell to it. It smells like a raccoon died in here and gave birth, then died in here, and all the babies died too. I know that's dark. Bear with me. And it just no one buys things that they don't intend to enjoy unless you're in the gaming community, because only in this community, right, will people buy a product that they have zero intention on actually using. They will buy, for example, a video game console, then be mad that there are games on it they can only play on that device. What? Hold up. Wait a minute. Here I have this console and there are games on it that are just for this console. But I would like to play that on my preferred platform. What did you buy the hardware for then? What exactly was the point of spending hundreds of dollars on a particular console or product only to never use it? Was it just to disarm arguments? Was it just to say, yeah, I own that and I don't like it. I own that. I don't even use it. It collects dust, which says more about your house and your cleaning habits than it says anything about that hardware, by the way. But yeah. I own it. I don't even use the thing. And what? Well, sounds like you wasted your money, bruh. That's what it sounds like. And let's just go a step further, right? Because it gets weirder. How about the people who bought gaming PC? Bought gaming PCs. Don't use it. Don't use it for gaming. Don't even use it to do their trash podcast. Don't use it for nothing. It's just there, quote unquote, collecting dust. Why? You spent thousands of dollars? Because, these are the ones that will claim, it costs you, it'll cost you the down payment on a mortgage to get a relevant gaming PC that's more powerful than a console, right? These are the same ones, dumb for no reason, brain cells, they need help, they need milk. Their brain cells is completely malnourished. It's just, you spent thousands of dollars on this only just to say, to lie to people and say, well, I have this game that's also on PC. It performs better on my PS5 Pro. Really? So you bought the game for both? You bought the game on your PC through Steam and on PlayStation? Oh, you didn't do that. So how do you know it's better? Oh, you're just full of shit. Oh, this is what I thought, right? It's just like they never think these things through. What's up, Slackro? They never think the common sense stuff through, because common sense is not common to them, which is why they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on hardware they never intend on actually using. But let's go back to people who complain about things that they don't use. So let's, for example, right? Digital Foundry comes out and they're talking about an instability issue on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro with VRR. Variable, whatever. You know what it is. So they're upset. People are upset. Oh, can't believe this. This is unacceptable. This has to be fixed immediately. Fix it right now. Fix this, Sony. What are you doing about this? I need a statement ASAP on what you're doing to fix this problem. Okay. Did you know that was a problem before Digital Foundry brought it up? Okay. If you didn't know it was a problem before they brought it up, how did it affect you? Oh, it didn't. So what are you upset about? Okay, let's go a step further. You didn't even know it was an issue because you don't use the PS5 or PS5 Pro. Uh-oh. So why are you upset? Is it just a complaint? It's like, I am a customer, kinda, of this product. And now I'm mad because the product that I don't use has performance issues. Fix this immediately so I can go back to continuing to not use said product and complain about something else. Hilarious. Mario says, exactly why I bought consoles and not PC. I don't have the time to commit to PC, even if it's the best platform. I ain't spending $2K on the GPU alone when the PS5 Pro, Series X, Switch are good enough. See, look, and that's just fine, right? Because it's about what you find acceptable. If you find the performance of a console to be good enough for what you want to get out of gaming, more power to you. I'm happy for you. Understanding that you know that ahead of time and you're not buying a PC, a pre-built PC, or building a PC only for an experience that you're not interested in engaging in. You may, and I'm glad you recognize you can get higher frame rates, better visuals, whatever, depending on how much you're willing to spend on the PC. But if you're good enough with what you got right now, why even bother doing all of that? You don't need to, which is fine. But for those who spent the money and then acted like they had no idea that, every now and then you're going to have some performance issues. Every now and then they're going to be something a little bit more complicated than, hey, go into system and hit check update. I mean, it is a PC. You didn't know this ahead of time. Oh, you didn't? How? How did you not know this, Mr. Informed, gamer? It's just people love to pretend to be stupid. They are stupid, but they ain't as stupid as they pretend to be. They just, it's a game. It's a game. I must have got them all on sale or trade and old stuff too. East Texas Alex, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, he said, I'm interested, man, but I have 2 jobs, a kid, I'm a single. Hey, look, man, yeah, priorities, right? And that's always super important. I was actually talking to the homie, Eric Jackson, who's doing very well. I hadn't spoke to him in a few months. I need to check in with him just to make sure he was good, make sure everything was copacetic on his side of things. And he's living life, he's enjoying himself. He just disengaged from social media and all the tomfoolery and BS that people be saying, or something I need to do every now and then. And he's just like, hey man, things are good. Priority, spending more time with family. And I'm like, you know what? Amazing. Freaking love it. That's what people need to do. Spend more time with family. And not engaging with dumb people with dumb arguments who say dumb things that can be easily debunked. What is that? 11:06 already? Done with this topic. Slackro says the Reddit forums are toxic for PC advice. Yeah. Don't get me started on weirdos on PC who just like, it's always like this. And it's not even just a Reddit forum. It could be Steam forums. It could be Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. It could be freaking YouTube videos. It's always some social reject. Some dude who hasn't taken a shower this year. It's April. They haven't taken a shower yet, right? And those weirdos, right? You can smell them through the internet. Those dudes, those guys will, yes, Logic, you missed it. Shout out to Logic. How you doing, man? Those dudes will be like, well, you know, if you checked the patch notes, you would know why you're getting this issue with this game. But since you're bothering us with these stupid questions, then yeah, this is what you need to do. And it's just like, you know, sir, you could have just did without any of that nonsense, and you could have just said what it is, right? You could have just said what the answer is. Why bother berating people and then giving advice? Like, just either provide it or just shut your whole ass up. It's just like one or the other. Just pick one. Shut your whole ass up or just give people advice. Nobody wants to hear you complaining that other people aren't as well versed on things. Like, I never understood that. Anytime people ask me for help on anything, like I'm literally helping one of my co-workers troubleshoot the issue with his PC. I suspect it's a Windows. I suspect that actually it's an NVIDIA driver issue. But you know, I'm we're talking this morning. You know, I wasn't like, well, you know, Dave, if you bother to research this, which AKA Google is free, you loser. If you bother to do that instead of asking me these stupid questions, then you would know that you should do blah 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 blah. Like, no, like why be an asshole for no reason? But that seems to be the majority of the responses you get when people ask questions, especially like I've seen where like new PC gamers come in and they're asking questions that you would expect a new PC gamer to ask, but it's like kind of like common knowledge for someone that's a bit more experienced. Hey, it makes sense that you're curious about this, or you don't quite know that you should probably have dual channel RAM instead of just one stick of RAM. Like, that's not a just something that you're just going to look at your motherboard and say, oh, well, clearly I will want to have these in slot 2 and 4. Like it's, you're gonna read your motherboard manual to see where you need to put, if you only go with 2 slots, where you need to put your RAM. But otherwise, like, why would someone brand new to this know that kind of information? But it's just, it shows a lack of emotional intelligence as well as just common freaking sense that people tend to think that I've learned something, and since I'm the center of the universe, that everyone else also know these things as well. And that's just not reality. Like, no one knows what you know simply because you know it. You're not that important. Also, take a bath, you freaking incel. And so, like, these are the things that, like, I see on a I would say a weekly basis. That's just so annoying. And, you know, and I'm a PC gamer and I'm annoyed with these losers. They make me feel bad. I'm just like, you guys, you suck at life. And this is all you have, huh? And look, matter of fact, let me go back since Logic is here. I'll go back to what I was complaining about before. That's the root of all of this. Spending thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars on hardware that you never intended on using, but you just bought it to have a gotcha to say, I own this and it's worse than my preferred product. You suck at life, man. Your life has to suck to do that. Like, you must have nothing going on. Like, no family or friends to hang out with, no one to call, no one to just shoot the breeze with, no one to tell you, why are you doing that, bruh? No one to say, ain't that a little weird? No one to say, I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but when was the last time you took a shower? Like, nobody to tell your dumb behind that. Nobody to check you when you start doing weirdo stuff. It's like the reverse of like famous people. You know how like famous people, they lose sense of reality. Everybody around them is a yes person because they don't want to lose access to them. So they come up, they say something stupid or dumb or ignorant, and they just like, you know, like all the sycophants that used to be friends, but now they not because they don't want to lose access because they want to say they, I grew up with, little big dick, whatever dumb rapper name, right? So like all these people just let them say dumb stuff because they don't want to lose access, and then every now and then they get a reality check and they get canceled for saying something stupid. This is like the reverse of that. When you don't have a social circle, you don't have friends that tell you spending that kind of money just for a gotcha is a dumbass idea. But the internet will check you. The world will check you when you finally do that. They'll be like, bruh, so why do you own this if you're not going to use it? You don't even like the games. Let's just keep it about. You don't even like the games that's on the platform. You don't even like the first party games that the platform holder creates. So why do you own it? Why did you buy it? You bought it and then you never used it? You bought it and then you complained about the controller. Did you not know what kind of controller it had before you bought it? The things that you complain about the controller are things that have been traditional about those kind of controllers for forever. What are you doing? Also, soap, water, your skin, make it happen. Now, I'm done. What you guys talking about in the chat? What you guys talking about? Oh, Mario's lying. I never offered myself for breakfast. That was definitely not. At least I don't think I did. That's definitely not the case. Yes, East Texas facts. SloMo always helps me out with PC issues, and I never tell Alex, how dare you ask me these questions. I just help people because I look. We've all been in a place where we need information, help on things. Like it's just human, and I ask people questions on things that I'm unfamiliar with all the time. I don't want to be berated for asking those questions because people just don't ask. They just either try to figure it out on their own and end up breaking something, or they just don't use it anymore. Bloodzilla in the house. AMD is the greatest company on the face of the planet. Great to see you being objective, Flood. That's great. Brad says, who hasn't taken a shower? Half of Twitter. You know how it is. And yeah. Let's see. Okay. So that's that. What was the other topic? Nintendo Switch 2 pre-show thoughts. So I'm gonna keep this brief. I'm not buying a Switch 2 if I don't see Fire Emblem, and not an old Fire Emblem. I will take a remaster of an older Fire Emblem. I will freely admit that, but I want a new Fire Emblem. Okay, that's the only thing I'm interested in. I'm not interested in Zelda. I'm not interested in Metro Prime 4. I'm not interested in Mario Kart 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not interested in Super Smash Your Moms, bro. I'm not interested in none of these games. Luigi's Closet 3, I don't care. I don't want the game. I just want Fire Emblem. That's the only game I want. Fire Emblem. Once I see Fire Emblem, it's a wrap. I'm buying it. I don't think I'm just going to see Fire Emblem tomorrow. I just don't. So I'm interested, and I will be doing a live. Well, okay. They got this really awkward 9 a.m. Time for the live stream. I'm gonna have to. I mean, like I'm not even back home from dropping my kids off at that point. So what I think I'm gonna do tomorrow is I will do a secondary that was a problem. Hold on, let me fix something I just did in the background. That would be a major problem. So yeah, I'm not home in time for when that starts. So what I think I'll end up doing actually is just doing a reaction stream of it after the fact, and hopefully that's like something that doesn't it's supposed to be an hour long. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some games that I don't care for, like the majority of these Nintendo shows. So I will have to just do it like that. But yeah, we're definitely doing a live stream tomorrow on the DPS channel. If you have sub to it yet, please subscribe to the DPS channel. We are growing. It's awesome. Shout out to Forte. He's awesome. All good things. All good things. We're working on more content. I'm working on getting Forte's lazy behind to upload videos. Yes, I called him lazy. He calls himself lazy. So if he does that, then I can call him lazy too. It's just the way things are. But other than that, yeah. So outside of my personal thing, I think a lot of when it comes to Switch 2, that is, I think a lot of the things that are coming out now about the Switch 2 it reminds me of a lot of the pre like details, the pre-presentation of the Nintendo Switch hype that was there back in 2017, where people thought it was going to be like this amazing device. It was going to rival the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. That back then, I think that was like Scorpio. You know, everyone had the dumb scorpions in their names. You know who you were, loser. But okay, they're not losers. Kinda are. They're all ashamed of themselves, but that's not the point. I think a lot of people are taking what usually happens around this time period, which is people making stuff up for attention. They're taking that. Flood says, why I always gotta be name calling. Flood, if I called you an AMD whore, would that be inaccurate? What you think? If it's true, it's true. No. Okay. You're not an AMD whore, Flood. Lies. I got receipts on you, sir. Don't make me pull them, okay? But no. A matter of fact, hold on. Let me double check something. What is your Discord name right now, Flood? Don't try to change it. Don't try to change it right now. I already see it. Your Discord name is Lisa Sue's Paint Tickler. Just going to pause for effect with that one. That's not even the worst audience of the things that he said about that woman in AMD. Things that he allow AMD to do to his various orifices as well. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Like so, if I said he's AMD whore, this is completely 100% accurate. Logic says AMD is grace for CPUs since Ryzen came out, except for the brief blip of Alder Lake. There has been no reason to buy Intel. True. SloMo got that snake Snake bite. Yeah. I mean, look, I agree. Yeah, I'll get into AMD in a little bit. But let me finish up on this Nintendo stuff. I agree. There's just no reason to buy Intel until Intel provides a product that's worth buying at the moment. What am I? What am I? Yeah. What was that? What was that? Back on track. Switch 2. Yeah, there's a lot of like hardware reveal hype where like, remember when everyone was trying to convince people, not everyone, but certain people were trying to convince people that the Xbox Series X would be more powerful or on par with a 2080 Ti. Remember that? That was funny. That was good times. There's always stuff like that where people are overhyping things. And then there are people who are more than willing to believe these things simply because they want it to be true. They completely throw out logic, throw out any kind of critical thinking, and just go, yeah, man, yeah. It's true because someone randomly who has no expertise in any of this stuff whatsoever said so. And this happens often. And I think a lot of the things that people are saying about the Switch 2 aren't quite true as far as performance goes. Clearly, it's going to be more powerful than the Switch 1, which is what you want. The things that I just want from the Switch 2, I know clearly a higher battery capacity, a higher efficiency in using more wattage for performance without dramatically hitting battery performance. In DLSS, this is an NVIDIA APU that they have in there. It's the RTX 3050 Mobile, which, let me make sure that people understand that's not a Ampere architecture NVIDIA GPU. That's still a Turing architecture GPU. NVIDIA, and one of their, very many times where they like to try to confuse people on purpose, named it the 3050 for no daggone reason. It's in the 2000 series range, which still means that it's capable of light ray tracing, is capable of DLSS upscaling. It's not really capable of frame generation, so you're not going to get those things. But I'm hoping just for like DLSS 2.2, which I think was where it left off before it became, they dropped DLSS 3. DLSS 3 is likely not capable, not capable, but for what that does, especially considering where you were, excuse me, good grief, where you were with the Switch, with, ugly visuals, pixelated mess, games can't maintain 30 frames per second. I just want like a lot of games to run at 60 and have options for performance with options for visuals. That's a step up there. What you got to say in the chat? Intel lets me put food on the table and keep my kids off the streets. What are y'all talking about? Slackro says Nintendo need more media content support. It only has YouTube and Crunchyroll. I don't think Nintendo quite understands how social media works, honestly. Like, they engage with it like your grandparents engage with it. They just seem to like tolerate it, and then don't quite understand how free promotion they can get, how much free promotion they can get from content creators if they weren't so ridiculous on allowing or blocking content creators for just like playing their games or promoting their games. Like, it's really weird. They don't quite understand that when you copyright strike people and you they're less willing to talk or engage or show anything about your games. And despite my personal feelings on their games, universally people believe their games are of high quality. And if people think your games are of high quality, it's good to show them. Like, you don't have to pay these people to do it. They want to do it without you paying them. It's free promotion, stupid. But Nintendo just they're stuck in the 90s when it comes to that kind of stuff. The virtual cards thing, I would like to see a little bit more clarification on some of the things with that. I think it's also kind of like an outdated way of going about game sharing. Having to, at least there isn't a cap on how many times you can give someone within your family or your on your account a particular game, but the fact that you have to keep doing it is it's kind of annoying. I think you should just, hey, look, this is a child on my account. You add child limits, which like Xbox has that, child limits. My daughter has an Xbox Series S under my Xbox account. I have child limits. Of course, she's only 9 years old. I got child limits on her account. She can, anything that is suitable for her, and even some games that I believe are suitable, but the content restrictions say it isn't. I can go in and say, all right, well, I'm allowing this one game to go past the content filter. But regardless, I don't need to be like checking up on anything. She can just download games that she wants to play. Unravel 2, she likes that game. It's suitable for her. She has access to it because it's an EA Play game, and EA Play is in Game Pass, and I have Game Pass. You can just download it. Like, it's not a big deal. But like if Microsoft was doing Nintendo rules, like, I would be constantly having to allow her to play games that I own or have access to simply because I'm the parent on the account. And that's it. Like, if you have someone who is a really big gamer, a kid that's a really big gamer that does that often, like playing a lot of different games, it's gonna get annoying after a while where they keep asking you for access to a game that you gotta put in. I just think it's very archaic, but whatever. Logic says he thinks this is telegraphing an all digital Switch in the future. I don't know. Nintendo is also very much. I'll say this, right? PlayStation will give you an all digital platform before Nintendo does. Like, I feel like if it does get to that one day, it's going to be a while for them. But we'll have to see. But I kind of feel like if that does happen, that's not going to be something that's going to happen in anytime soon. Last topic. What time is it? 11:30. I got 20 minutes. Okay, so last topic. And what was the last topic? Good grief. My brain is just AMD's golden opportunity. So I'm saying that, what I mean by that, right? AMD's golden opportunity. I'm not talking about CPUs, because they're killing it in CPUs. Intel sucks and AMD's killing it. The X3D series is just like it is. What can they not do? At what area is Intel beating them in CPUs? They're not. Nowhere. It's like watching. It's like watching any other NBA team play the Washington Wizards or the Utah Jazz. It's just like, it's a complete rout. It's just not even entertaining. I want my money back, like, for these seats, because this is trash. And that's kind of like what AMD is doing to Intel in the CPU market right now. That said, when it comes to GPUs, of course, NVIDIA is still dominating the hell out of them. But NVIDIA has definitely I'm not going to say are falling asleep at the wheel, because that would suggest NVIDIA doesn't know what they're doing. They absolutely know what they're doing. They just do not care. NVIDIA does not care whatsoever about the GPU market anymore. Because even if you had like everybody in the GPU market willing to spend the $2,000 minimum MSRP, which is, you can't find a 5090 at $2,000 anyway. But even if even if somehow you could get everyone to want to spend that kind of money on their new GPU, that's still nowhere near what NVIDIA's new clientele is spending in the database sector, in the database market. What is your $2,000 to someone willing to spend $8,000 per unit? It's nothing. And so they don't really, the reason why NVIDIA is lying to retailers, lying to you, saying, oh, well, you can't find a 5000 series card because the demand is so high, we can't make enough of them. They just sell out all the time. And it's just like, you're lying. You're both-faced lying to people's face. Retailers are saying we are not getting units. You're not making them. And this is a golden opportunity for AMD, because NVIDIA discontinued the 4000 series. So that if you need a new GPU, you have to get the 5000 series, but they don't make the 5000 series. So let's say your GPU craps out on you. You go get it RMA'd by the manufacturer. Let's say it was MSI. You send it to MSI. MSI says, we can't help you. We can't fix this. We would give you a refurbished GPU in the same class to what you got, but we don't have none of those either because there's no supply. So this is what we're going to do to wipe our hands of you, because we don't really care. We're going to cut you a check, or not a check, but we'll give you a gift card or whatever of the value of what you spent on your card. Good luck out there. But let's say you spent $800 on your card. So now you got $800 to get a new GPU that you can't get from NVIDIA. They're basically pushing you to AMD. This is the perfect opportunity for AMD with quality products. As of right now, AMD drivers, for the first time, and I can't remember how long, AMD drivers are better than NVIDIA drivers right now. NVIDIA drivers plagued with black screens, plagued with all kinds of issues. I haven't heard of a single issue with AMD drivers so far. The only thing AMD's got to worry about is supply and actually delivering on the price that they said it would be, because they also got an issue where their products are not at MSRP. So this is where all the talk where people was like, I wish AMD was competition. I wish they were competition, man. But really what they wanted was competition from AMD so they could get better pricing from NVIDIA, right? But now people are kind of faced with actually having to actually buy an AMD card. And now when people don't have a choice, they have to use your product if they need a new product. You need to deliver. Like, you need to make sure that when they get it, it's good. And it's good enough that, why was I dealing with this BS from NVIDIA all this time, even though AMD wasn't on par all that time. But that's that's neither here nor there. Why would I continue to deal with this BS? Like you're basically creating fans of Team Red. A bunch of Floodzillas out there. If you can deliver, because Floodzilla don't care if the product's good. He's still 10 toes down. Knee pads, fresh off of Amazon, installed on the kneecaps. He's ready to dislocate his jaw for AMD, right? Even if the product was good or not, but everyone else isn't for that, right? The product needs to be good. And if the product is good, hey, you got some fresh converts. So I don't know who needs to talk to Lisa Sue, not Flood, but someone, who won't get arrested, talk to Lisa Sue and be like, get on the ball, make sure that this you don't lose this opportunity. You don't lose this momentum. Here are things they need to do. They need to make sure that they have supply available at MSRP. That needs to happen. Not all the models, but enough. You need to have enough available at MSRP where people who are looking for the product can find it. You need to make sure that the momentum that you're doing right now with drivers continues. That people aren't finding a massive issue with the drivers that you're seeing right now with NVIDIA. And then also, and probably I would say most important, you need to make sure that UDNA, the next generation GPUs, do the same thing. You need to make sure that if NVIDIA decides to take the GPU market more seriously, that you're not caught with your pants down. That you don't think now, brand-wise, you're on par with NVIDIA. You're not. So you have to continue to price your product appropriately. And you need to also make sure that you're delivering on the content and quality content. What you guys saying? NVIDIA needs to get the 5060 and 5060 Ti to market, and flood the zones with a cheap alternative. They won't Logic though. They won't. Flood says what we need is real supply of Intel Battle Mage, but that's a true paper launch. I have never seen, actually no, only once have I seen an actual Battle Mage GPU in the wild. And it was nowhere near MSRP. It was like almost double what MSRP was supposed to be, which makes it not worth it at that point. They don't have any supply, unfortunately. So it's Intel is just a mess. Like I just can't. Like I don't think about Intel when it comes to their ability to compete in any way at this point. They I know they got a new CEO now and he's working on things, but it's going to be a while before they're competitive, unfortunately. And it's sad how they went from such lofty highs to where they are now. But that's what it is when you don't take your competition seriously. NVIDIA, look out, right? Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's all the topics. let's see if I can play a little bit. What time is it? 11:41. Let's see if I can play a little bit of Assassin's Creed before I gotta do this meeting. Watch this meeting be like an hour long for no reason. I'm just there muted in the background, annoyed, and then it's just like, hey, SloMo, what do you think about blah 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 blah? And I'm just like, I don't care. I wouldn't say that. But I would definitely not care. I would this game. Hold on. Close that. And let's get work right, OBS. Uh-oh. Oh, there we are. OBS actually did it. Imagine that. Oh, let me turn off the background music. Yes, they do, Logic. They do call me SloMo backslap at work. All the time. You know, like when we talking to clients, I'm like, hi, here's our network team. We've got Chris over here. Say hi, Chris. Chris says hi. And then we have our other network engineer, SloMo backslap. That is his name. He will backslap you slowly. We all have seen it. It's pretty crazy. But he's excellent at networking. He's going to be our guy for the VPN tunnels. Yeah, happens all the time. Where was I? I don't think I got a chance to play this yesterday. Okay, let's get this refill. Meet Kuma. Who the heck is Kuma? Let's I'm doing this one. Going after the mourner. The Deccan of Omi has been oppressing the peasants with unfair taxes. Okay. Let's see if okay, scouts are filled up. So he's in a town in Omi. Northern shimmering fields. So up here. His lookout is near a canal. Okay, you know what? Let me just do this entire area. Boom, we got it. That's how you use your scouts effectively. And then you go refill them, Good job, scouts. Save me some time. Let's go. You know what? I should get Yasuke. That's what I should do. And just go around slaughtering people. Like this guy. Hey. I like assassinating people. I think it's far enough to probably get my horse. But. Oh wait, maybe I should go. Hold on, is there bridges to get? There are. There's a bridge up ahead. Homie Juan Kenobi in the house. What's good, man? Game Log says Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is your game of the year. What? I ain't play that. Honestly, I respect it that people feel that way about it. I don't want to play it. It just doesn't seem appealing to me. I tried to play the first one, and I think I dropped it after like 30 minutes. If I drop your game after 30 minutes, I'm never playing it again. up here? I don't know about that, girl. I just walk. I know that's maybe this is just a lazy way of doing that, but you know, I walk past you and you just go. I don't believe it. Okay.
Known for its bustling market and lovely canals.
Don't shout. We must be discreet.
Oh, my apologies. You are one of Yasuke's followers, yes?
That is Yasuke's ally, not his follower.
Listen,
Get
Bear,
it right.
if that is your real name.
I listen.
We are allies.
Come. I will show you
Come.
what is amiss in Omi.
I will show you what is
What
amiss.
they do is send out a second daikon who claims the first was an impostor.
Typical tricks.
The daikon is too well guarded for the peasants to resist.
And the daimyos do nothing, of course. Not their problem.
Lord Hideyoshi holds Northern Omi. He seems fair, but he's always away at war.
And the stewards at Azuchi and Nagahama are bribed to look the other way.
Are these corrupt daikon led by someone named The Wheel?
I don't know that name. I am Lady Oichi's bodyguard, not a spy master.
Thank you, Kuma. I'll see what I can do and find you when I'm done.
Give me a second. Alright, go ahead. This is a message in Slack. Alrighty. Talk to the farmers. Oh, man. This is... I wanted to fight some people. I don't really have a lot of time. Okay. Maybe I can find a farmer that's like in need.
Who's that drunken oaf snorting in my rice
attack.
field?
One of the Daikon's samurai.
You said a
Oh,
samurai
okay.
is sleeping in your fields?
Yes, one of the Daikon's men, sleeping off his sake.
I'll take care of him. He might lead me to the daikon.
Can I just kill him though? Can I kill him? Where he at? I don't know. Where? Okay. Yo, is he invisible? I mean, this is the field, right? What the? I mean, did I pass? Did he wake up and leave? I'm lost. What? Crap. Am I not in the right? Wait, hold on. Wow, they got a lot of fields, because that's a... Hey, he's not asleep.
Don't make all that noise in my ears.
Ready?
Shut your ass up. I switched to my little knife. Oh crap! Ooh. How you dead already, homie? Thought you had more life than that. Well, it is what it is. Not everybody can be a badass like Noway. Oh, Tech Slackrow says so. Ampere means 220. No. Whoa, yeah, 2020. Yes. The 3000 series RTX GPUs came out in 2020. So that, but you don't want to say just 2020 tech. You want to say the RTX 3000 series architecture. You know, to
Did you
kind of
find
like
him?
give people an understanding
that
of
rice field ruffian is dead.
Thank you for leading us to that drunken
where the level of
beast.
power is.
But the root of the problem is his boss. The corrupt Daikon is in Azuchi.
Oh, I don't
The
have that
Daikon
many
lives on the
hours, Smithy. I feel
canal
like
in
I'm in like somewhere in the
Time to pay
20s.
him a visit.
Kill the corrupt Daikon. You ain't gotta tell me. So I'm only level 24. I do have a good number of legendary items for Naue, but that's just because, you know, in the beginning of the game, you're basically like, you play as Yasuke for like 15 minutes and then you're her for like minimum 15 hours. So I played with her for a long time. Yasuke, I don't have as many good weapons quite yet, although I'm kind of getting there. I do want to get this katana blade, this long katana blade, as well as like that big, I forgot what they call the thing, but it looked like a big stick, like a big club with like spikes out of it or something. I want to get those. And then with him, this is her. I love the Tanto and the Kasari Gama, whatever, right? So yeah, I love using those. Like, yeah, it's just, she's badass with that. And then this right here is my go-to for like multiple enemies. And then I go to the Tantos if it's just one enemy that I'm dealing with. How much time do I have? Ooh, I have to go. I have enough time. All right, maybe I'll do a live stream sometime later, where I just play this, you know, which would be not a bad idea. But I do have to go because I got to handle something work right before I do this conference call. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And play some games. Eat some food. Enjoy your lunch. Peace.